Okay, we're recording now.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is one of these. All right, I got really excited.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell Bill.
Yeah, she was telling me she saw something on TV recently.
Yeah, so normally the holiday season, I wait until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But this year, with the election and with
you just needed, I got you the comfort food kind of thing.
Yeah, with the hurricane and then the election on top of it, I was like, you know what?
I'm just gonna roll right into that shit.
Right the fucking.
You don't have the tree up already.
No, I know. I'm actually going to be decorating for Christmas next week.
Okay,
so I will.
All right.
Actually, this week I'll be decorating anyway.
What? Okay.
I will be. No, I will. Yeah, by the time you're here next week, everything but the tree will be up.
Okay, very well.
So, but anyway, I mean, it's close. At that point, it's pretty much Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, but what I wanted to tell you, you and I both enjoy the irony that is Hallmark Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you recognize that they're bad. I recognize that they're bad, but
we
they're
still sit through them. Yeah, there's a kind of thing there. It's like, yeah, whatever, And I watch a lot of, there's a lot of stuff that like during the holidays that I do that's kind of like, I don't think people would say is like, if they think they know me, they'd be very surprised at, right? Like they'd be like, you find that movie interesting. And I'm like, I do, as a matter of fact.
Well, and yesterday at football, we were trying to explain to our very not Hallmark Christmas movie oriented neighbor. Myself and my other neighbor Julie were like, "You're missing out," and he's like, "I am not." We're like, "No, you really are." He's like, "No, I'm not." Like, no, but you are.
I mean, like even if you think they're silly as fuck, they're still entertaining. Like you know what I mean? And then it's just. Yeah, because they're just tropey enough to work. Like
exactly.
I don't know how to explain it. Yeah,
they're completely. So anyway, the other day, like late last week, maybe Friday, I don't know. But I was at a stopping point with my work, and I just didn't want to think about anything for a while. So I went and sat on the couch, and I put on the Hallmark Channel because we have live TV right now because of football. And I put on the Hallmark Channel, and it was a movie called A Vermont Christmas. And of course, that's vague enough that I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is, right?
Could be anything. You've never been in Vermont at Christmas.
Right, exactly. But within the first 5 minutes, here's what I learned.
Okay.
She owns a microbrewery that was her dead dad's.
Oh.
And now she's trying to keep it afloat in her dad's memory.
Okay.
So Matt comes walking in like about 5 minutes into the movie, and I'm like, "She owns a microbrewery," and he's like, "All right then," and he sat down.
I know, that's how I felt immediately. I'm like, okay, he's already 10% more attractive. Like I don't even know who's in the movie, but
the funny part is they are people I know, like actors that not everybody would, but the main female character
from Hallmark movies.
From other things. The main female character is from a show that I used to love called Switched at Birth. Which
never seen it. Okay.
Who would?
Okay.
It's really good though, but in a soapy teenage kind of way. But she was the main character, so I was like, "Oh, look, it's Katie LeClerc." I'm excited because I like her and other things. And then the main male character was the brother-in-law from Chuck. So I'm like, "Oh, it's the brother-in-law from Chuck." So I already have this going for me.
Okay, yeah. It's got some B actors that you like.
Absolutely, exactly. So Matt sits down. We're watching this thing. All right, so she owns a microbrewery. That was her father's legacy. They make obscure German beers. There's a whole scene where they talk about the obscure German beers.
Okay, now she's 20 points more attractive. I don't care what she looks like.
She's actually really pretty.
No, I'm sure she is because she's in a Hallmark movie. I'm
sure. Yeah, they're not hiring.
Like I know what she looks like without knowing what she looks like. Frankly,
sure.
But either way. Okay, they have a brewer. She has a microbrewery that makes German-style beers.
Yeah.
I'm already like...
They're in a ski town in Vermont.
Okay.
It's very important.
Okay. I mean, that's the biggest drawback is like they got long winters. Okay.
Right. So, but she meets this guy on the ski slope when they run into each other, literally, because you got to have the meat ugly, right? Like
the meat ugly.
Yeah. They have to run in. So literally, like, he's a bad skier. He runs into her physically on the slope, and then they have a whole back and forth. Yeah. Anyway, he works for Big Beer.
Okay.
So he works for Schultz, the big beer company that is now trying to set up a craft brewery division to compete with local craft breweries all over the country.
Okay.
Right?
I got you. He's going to run them out of business. Got you.
Right.
They're going to make
this
flavored Schultz malt liquor.
Yeah, exactly. So he meets her though, but he's studying to be a cicerone, which of course is the sommelier of the beer world.
Okay.
Right. He busts out this and explains it.
I still need to find out what they call the person who does that for sausages. Because that's the thing I'm going to do. I'm going to be that guy for sausage.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
That's us aside.
So anyway, long story short, there's a beer competition. The beer competition happening in their town.
It's like the Battle of the Bands.
Right. But it's sponsored by a local bar that's also owned by Schultz Big Beer.
Oh,
right. But the local bar is owned by her ex-boyfriend.
Jesus.
Right?
It got complicated. Yeah.
So she decides to enter a beer into this competition. She makes the best IPA that's ever been made on the face of this planet.
It's called like hops in your fucking face.
No, it's called Hoppy Holiday. Exactly. And the secret ingredient is pine.
Okay.
Exactly. So she makes this beer and she's gonna enter this into the competition. But then because you think the Big Beer new love interest is gonna be the bad guy, right? Because he works for Big Beer.
Right.
But no, it's the ex-boyfriend.
Sure.
And he steals her recipe and creates a clone of it with the secret ingredient being pine, and also enters that recipe into the same contest that's sponsored by Big Beer.
How do you figure out a recipe?
Oh, he stole it. He was in her brewery because they were having a heart-to-heart talk about how their relationship was definitely over. And after she left the room,
and he walked by and
he
snatched
took a picture of it. And then he heard the secret ingredient was pine. And he was the only person outside of the guy from Big Beer that would have known that. So anyway, that all of this comes to light. He's villainized because he stole her recipe. She won the contest. He lost everything. But then the guy from Big Beer, who was about to move to Denver because he was going to get a job with Big Beer and he was going to go start.
Oh, is that what the Big Beer company is?
Big Beer company is in Denver. Because he fell in love with the craft brewery owner.
Well, of course he did.
That was financially hemorrhaging. He decided to stay instead.
Right.
And he's going to work with her to make the craft beer brewery that was owned by her dead father more lucrative.
Okay.
And that was the end of the movie.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it was so fucking bad.
Yeah.
That it was good again. It's like,
all right.
Do you remember when we were kids and people bought Cabbage Patch Kids and they're like, they're so ugly, they're cute?
I remember my mom saying that about Yoda. She's like, he's so ugly, he's cute. I don't know. I didn't care about Cabbage Patch because but my mom. I remember my mom saying that about Yoda to me.
Sure.
It's so ugly, it's cute, and I've always kept that idea in my head because I used to own a what people called a Bug-Eye WRX, which people also said it's so ugly, it's cute.
Well, we used to have a Sphinx cat, which people also said was so ugly, it's cute.
Yeah. So I get the concept of things being so ugly, they're cute.
Yeah. I don't even remember where I was going with that analogy now.
I don't know. What was so ugly it was cute?
Oh, the
boyfriend?
No, it was a terrible movie. It's a terrible movie.
But it was so ugly it was cute.
It was so ugly it's cute. Like,
all right.
They're not good movies. They're not the pinnacle. We're not creating art.
No, they're not art
these. For
sure. No, it's definitely
it's full escapism.
The mashed potatoes of fucking movies.
They're so tropey.
But here's the thing about mashed potatoes is they're soothing and they're warm and and they're full of carbs.
In the first 5 minutes, and when Matt came and sat down, I'm like, this is what's going to happen. Point.
Yeah, you know
exactly. I'm like, Big Beer, he's not going to be the villain. The ex-boyfriend's going to be the villain, and then they're all going to come together, and Big Beer guy's going to stay. And Matt did not disagree with me because that's true.
Yeah,
because they're
they're not going to like you're not. You know what? Well, I say that, and then they're going to make one that surprises you. because somebody's gonna like decide to like take the whole thing and like
Sure.
turn it on its head. Like, there's gonna be like, what if we had a Hallmark movie and there's a final girl or something?
No, which I'm hoping. I don't know if it'll happen this year. The hurricane kind of impacted my ability to do it, but I wrote a Hallmark movie as if it were written by M. Night Shyamalan. And I do want to publish it, like self-publish it. I do plan to, and I will promote it here if I do.
Yeah.
My whole point was to publish it this year, but then
things happen. Yeah. Well, it's been a mess. Yeah.
And maybe we still will. But yeah, that was. I just wanted to tell you about that.
No, I appreciate it. That's great.
So
now,
if you are,
I will try a Vermont. We'll watch it.
Christmas.
A Vermont Christmas. We'll watch it because we're gonna watch a fair amount of that shit at some point, starting soon.
Look that one
we
up.
always have a couple of these. We've got our regulars that we watch. Like we've got 2 regular, and they're not Hallmark movies. They're actually big budget, but they're basically Hallmark movies. We watch the shit. I don't know what one of them. I don't even know the name of the one. The one with Cameron Diaz and Zach.
Last Holiday?
Yes. Okay, we watch that one every year, and then we watch Love Actually,
right?
Which are like the big budget versions of this shit.
Sure, yeah, that's what started that. Those movies are what created this genre, right?
We watch those, but I like those, and I know people are like, "Oh, fucking these movies suck," and I'm like, but they have their thing they're good for.
And I'm not telling you that A Vermont Christmas is a blockbuster by any means.
No, but I've watched my fair share of
terrible.
I've watched my fair share of these,
but
and most of them are shitty. But this sounds as good as any of them.
Sure, exactly. I mean, I think that's
the point. Is as good as any of them.
So let's celebrate Christmas because we should find joy where we can.
Find your joy where you can.
All right, folks. We'll see you some other time. Bye, everybody.